Some problem, I disconnected for a second there. So welcome to day 4 of this 5-day free program. I'm really glad that you're here. You made it through the last 3 days, and here we are on the 4th day, which is about how we can feel good. Now this is a question that I've been asked many times, like not just for this program but in general. Hi David, are you driving right now? Are you on the road? Would love to know if you are free to join in later in this call. I think we're gonna do a little meditation. Maybe you'll like that. So this is a question that a lot of people have asked me before. Like, it's how do you feel good? How do you stay positive? How do you stay in alignment? Like those of us who are familiar with the law of attraction, there's a hi Thomas. Hi, how are you? How are you doing today? We're talking about how we can feel good. Let me know, Hayward, and let me know, Thomas, what are some things that you do that make you feel good? If you're feeling like you're in a funk, then what do you do to feel good? I would love to know, because it'll be great to have these ideas here. And if you're free later, I can also invite you in the conversation, both Hayward and Thomas. So this is something that a lot of people ask me, and as I was saying, that people who are familiar with the law of attraction know that when we are feeling good, we are we are going to be attracting more good things to us. We are going to be attracting positive thoughts, positive ideas. We are going to be more receptive to solutions. Hi Richa, so nice to see you here. So it's like, there's a difference between a question mind, so to say, a mindset around trying to solve something, and this is a question, I need to figure this out, and there's a different vibration, different energy, different mindset that is around solutions, right? So it's like kind of like a different road. It's a different path. It may seem like you have to keep digging deeper and deeper into, how do I solve this, what's this problem, why did this happen, and all of that. It feels like the solution comes there, but I know that a lot of us have had this experience that you go for a walk, you distance yourself from this problem, which has really made you frustrated and makes you feel really like there's no solution near around. So when you distance yourself from that, maybe you sleep over it, and the next morning you're having breakfast and the idea comes through. Maybe you go for a walk and then the idea comes through. Or maybe in the shower, where all the wonderful ideas come through. That's when you have suddenly an idea that you hadn't thought of before, because now you're away from that feeling of, I can't figure this out, this is really difficult, this is really messed up, and I need to really figure it out. You are away from that space. You've calmed yourself down, you have kind of soothed yourself down, so then you are more receptive to solutions. So, and in general, like, if you don't know about the law of attraction as well, there's a lot of tons of research done around positive psychology and the value of being happy. There's literally a book which is called The Happiness Advantage. It has been researched and found out that there is so much advantage. Literally, people have the happiness advantage. If you're more happy, if you're you have all of those endorphins going on and you're feeling good, then you're more likely to, doctors are more likely to be performing surgery better. They're supposed to be more precise in their surgeries. Salespersons are more probable to make sales. Like, in every measure of success that is defined by the society currently, there is a happiness advantage. So there's a lot of value, of course, in being happy and feeling good and feeling positive, for sure. And it's well researched. It's talked a lot about it. There's a lot that's been spoken about it. But the thing is that sometimes what can happen is that, especially people in the law of attraction community, we can be hard on ourselves if we are not feeling happy, especially if you're not feeling happy all the time. And especially when there's something that has gone wrong, when there's a manifestation that has happened that doesn't feel good, when there's a contrasting situation that has popped up, where there's a problem that has popped up, you're not feeling good about it. You're having all those thoughts going around, okay, why did this happen, how is this happening, and everything. And at the same time, as you're thinking those negative thoughts, there's another part of you which is feeling bad for feeling bad. Like, you feel guilty, you feel angry towards yourself, that I know that I'm supposed to feel good and I'm not doing that, so this is going to make it worse. So you're already having all those negative thoughts about the situation. Plus, on top of that, you're thinking that, well, I'm not doing a good job as a law of attraction student, as a manifestor. I'm not really thinking good thoughts, I'm not feeling positive, so I need to do something. So that's something, like, it's all over the board. Like, it's a question that comes up many times. How do I feel good? So I want to rephrase that. I want to change that a little bit, and instead of saying how do you feel good? I just want to present to you the idea of how do you feel better. No matter where you are, is good enough. It's in fact really really helpful if you just take it up one notch and feel a little bit better. You don't have to be like high vibing, positive, uplifted, and intoxicated with life all the time. Like, that is fun, that is beautiful, exhilaration is very great, excitement is amazing, having all of that energy is amazing, but feeling content is also great. When you're feeling absolutely depressed, then feeling angry is a notch further. It's a little bit more empowering than being depressed, than being feeling helpless. Then being angry feels a little bit better from that space. If you're angry, then calming yourself down and relaxing yourself, that feels better. And that is completely fine. No matter where you are, like, you can move towards the next step. That's the only thing that you need to do. And you shouldn't usually there's also, like, once again, with the misconception around law of attraction. Let me see. Hi guys. Hayward says, I have a sign when things are about to go wrong. You have a sign? Okay, what is it? How do you get to know? What do you do to feel better, Hayward? Like, when you know that things are going wrong and you're not feeling good, what do you do to feel better? What's something that helps you soothe yourself? Hi Neha. Neha D, nice to see you here. So, okay, there Hayward says, it is dogs barking, and it just happened this morning before I entered the apartment, my mother's apartment. There were dogs barking. I knew things would be able to sort, and that would be okay. To just jump out of the plane with no parachute and it'll be over. Yes, that's a great analogy. Jump out of the plane without a parachute. What it means is that there's something negative going on. There's something, you're in the midst of all these things that don't feel good. There's a tendency to fight it. There's a tendency to, I need to fix this, I don't know why it's happening. There's a tendency to keep moving towards it, and then you're adding more momentum to it. You're focusing more on it, and you're focusing and adding more to it. There's that part of it. And the second thing, as Hayward says, is flying off the plane without any parachute is like giving up, surrendering, let it be. It's okay, I don't need to fix this, I don't need to solve this right now. Hi Gia Energia, wonderful to see you here. So excited, so many amazing people have joined here today. So let's get this happy, positive, excited, all of that off the pedestal for a second. We don't have to be like that all the time. That's not required. Definitely feels good, but as I said, when you're feeling angry, feeling calm feels amazing. It feels like bliss, it feels like heaven. That's just one step. So that's what I want to talk about a lot, because there's a misconception. A lot of people, as I said, some of my clients who have worked with me also, in the form that they filled up, they said, how do you do it? How do you feel so positive? It may look like that I'm feeling optimistic and happy and positive all the time. That's not the case. I try to be aware of where I am, and I know when I'm not being very conscious with my thoughts. I'm just observing and reacting to how reality is shaping up in front of me. I'm just observing and reacting to whatever thoughts are showing up or whatever scenario is around me. And I notice that this can go anyway. I'm just like kind of depending on life to create amazing things, and then I could react instead of taking control and being proactive in thinking the way I want to think and feeling the way I want to feel. So let's just get to the next step, how to feel better. So the question, the theme that I've chose for today is a little bit like it's not the exact thing that I wanted to share. It's just a bit tricky. It's about how can we feel better. So of course there are many tools, many resources that you can actually engage in that make you feel better. There's of course meditation, there's sport activities. I just came back from playing badminton, and of course there's this whole endorphin rush and it feels really good. It's about taking out time for yourself to have your favorite cup of tea, have your hot chocolate or coffee, whatever it is for you. Or it could be spending time with someone and having a great talk, or it could just be taking a nap. It's about really finding out, okay, what works for you wherever you are. The same thing may not work for you wherever you are, right? So maybe there's a certain meditation that really blissed you out. It really put you on another level altogether. But then the next day it's not doing the thing. The next day you need to do something. You need to actually move around. That's what you require. That's what your body needs. That's what you need to feel better. So it's about being connected with what makes you feel better. But more than that, like before anything else, is the decision, the priority to take care of yourself. and to take care of how you're feeling. Abraham Hicks, as I said, one of the best teachers of law of attraction out there, they said there's nothing more important than you feeling good. Like, that is the highest priority. And again, instead of saying feeling good, because that feels like, you have to be like, highly propelled, excited, jumping and everything, that's not the case. Nothing more important than you feeling better. So that is something that, I would like to invite you to talk about and share. What's something that works for you? What makes you feel good? Let me know, Hayward. Hi, Dhyan. So nice to see you here. So let me see what are the comments here. Hayward says, my mom hurriedly asked me to take her to the store and it was not a good vibe. So I got brave and I said, I need to nap. Amazing. That is so great. And she said, okay. Luckily, I chose her favorite word, which is nap. Amazing. I think that throughout time, Gia says, you've created a solid, happy, emotional background. That's why it looks like you're happy all the time. Thank you, Gia. It's about consuming fresh new energy every day. That is true. Exactly. So that is something, like, we are so careful, or we are so considerate towards our devices, electronic devices. If the battery of a mobile, like, of course a lot of us also drain it till the end, but as soon as it's drained, we absolutely connected to the immediately connected to the charger, be it your laptop, be it your iPad, be it your phone. Like, we are so dependent in that way. We really want our devices to work all the time to the optimal performance, so we make sure that it's connected. At least I do. Like, I really care for all my devices, my Bluetooth earphones and everything. I like it to be charged. I don't want it to drain. So that's an interesting thing, because we think about those things and feel like, okay, it should be charged, it should be working properly, I don't want to put that load on that. But so often that we don't do that for ourselves. We drain ourselves out emotionally, because we maybe not be familiar with how it feels. So with your phone, with your devices, you have the indicator. It tells you, well, the battery is going down, you need to charge it up. But we are not so in tune with our own emotional indicator of how we are feeling and how we need to charge ourselves. We have become in some way used to being low on energy, feeling this sense of tension and anxiety, or having a headache and feeling stressed and everything, and that's not normal. That's like, how much do you want to tolerate that? You deserve to feel good. That's a very interesting thing, because in a lot of the cases when I'm speaking to people, the first thing that I find funny is that I have to convince someone that why should you feel good? Why should you take care of your own happiness or your own emotional well-being? Of course, it increases your productivity, increases your creativity, you attract amazing stuff and things get better. All of those are great things, but the main reason is that you get to feel good. And you are that worthy. You deserve to feel good. You deserve to feel calm. You don't deserve to feel, like strained or drained out of energy and all of those things. You deserve to prioritize yourself. Take that time, stand for yourself and be like, okay, I really need to, as Hayward says, that I can't go to the store with you. I need to take a nap. You could just sense that that's not the vibe with which you wanted to go ahead and go into the next segment of your day. So you actually withdrew from that and decided to take a nap. And that's such a wonderful thing. Standing up for yourself, standing up for your emotional well-being and for feeling good. Hi, Akanksha. Nice to see you here. So let's see what Gia says. I love you too, Gia. Thank you so much. President Obama and a beggar on the street can both say, I feel good. That's why it's important to feel better every day. Hi, Anurag. You have said something so beautiful, Gia. So I come from India, and I know that a lot of, this discussion has come up many times with a lot of my friends who are from the US and different countries in the West. And whoever has visited India, they have definitely seen the poverty that also exists in India. They have seen the, slums that are there. They have seen the people who are in the villages. But one thing that really, it's of course, it's a stark difference in the distribution of wealth, that they see that, okay, they have the comfort of, a great house, they have the comfort of warmth and food and water and everything, and the other people don't necessarily have that in India, a lot of people. But then they feel happy, they feel content. Like, I can, from my house also, I can see around, there's, a certain area that I can see, sometimes I can see some kids playing around. And when it's raining, when it's absolutely pouring, there's a big dumpster close by. These kids don't mind the dumpster. They're out on the street. there's water logging that's happening, and there's water that's collecting everywhere on the rooftops, and there's one outlet through which the water comes down from the roof. All of these kids are having such a great time. They're just like laughing, and all of us here are cooped up in our houses, and we're like looking at the rain from our windows and everything. These guys are having such a good time. They're having so much fun, and they're just making the most of it. Like, it's pouring and still they go under the thing where and get more water on them, and they're having such a great time. So such a wonderful thing that you said, Gia. Like, it's not, we may think that we again, something that I shared, I think, in day 2, when we're talking about our goals, when we think that once we have those things, then we get to be happy. But the whole conversation, which I love so much about law of attraction, mindset and everything, is that we have control over how we feel, how happy we are, how content we are. We don't have to wait for something to change in our reality. We don't have to wait for a certain goal. We don't have to wait for things and people and circumstances to change to be able to take control of how we are feeling and how we are thinking and how we are reacting to the life that's coming to us, like how we are setting our goals and what we are doing. It's all in our control. And that's an invitation, because we have kind of forgotten, like, at least I know a lot of people who are familiar with law of attraction, we are all very deliberate thinkers, set intention, and create our reality through our thoughts. But people who don't know about the law of attraction, it's an invitation to kind of reflect that, well, I have control over how I feel, because I have control over what are the thoughts that I'm focusing on, what are the aspects of my life that I'm focusing on. We all know this, like when something's gone wrong, if one aspect of your life, if you had a problem with your boss, or you had a fight with your mother, or your knee is hurting, everything else kind of fades away, and we focus on the knee. We focus throughout the day on the conversation that didn't go well, and we let that have that space in our mind throughout the day, up till the next day, sometimes over the week. As long as you are allowing that to be in your vibration, you're allowing that to be in your thought, you're allowing that to be in your mind. So that is us letting it be in our life still. And that's one part of our life. So much is still going well. Even if your knee is hurting, I know it may be causing pain, and it's asking for your attention, because every time it hurts, you notice it. But there are still other things that are going well. Maybe your work's going well. Maybe your hands are still working. Your eyes are still working. And you will notice, the more you focus on what doesn't feel good, like what's not working, you won't feel good. And as soon as you focus on something else, that's why law of attraction, one of the very popular practices is gratitude, expressing gratitude. When you get into a space of gratitude or appreciation, you automatically start feeling better. The pain, your focus shifts away from the pain. You actually start feeling happier. You start releasing those happy chemicals, right? So it's a very fun thing to know. Like, this was very interesting for me also once I got to know about it. But I don't have to just let my thoughts be whatever they are. Like, it's not like my thoughts are controlling me. I've forgotten that this is an aspect of my life, or I didn't know that this is an aspect of my life that I can control, or I should control. Not necessarily control, but like, I can decide to not feel bad. I can decide to shift my focus away from what's not feeling good. So we could just talk hours and hours about it. Gia says the goal is to feel good, thus feeling good becomes the goal. Yeah, of course. And the wonderful thing about that, when we know about the law of attraction, is that when you feel good, when you're serving yourself, when you're serving your own happiness and soothing yourself, maybe you're really triggered, maybe you're having anxiety, you're having, like, it could be really in the bad place, and you're trying to soothe yourself and move one scale up. You're moving in the direction of all the things that you want to attract. Absolutely law of attraction terms. When you feel good, that's a energy and the vibe of feeling good, feeling happy, feeling successful, and all of those things. Once you're feeling that, you start attracting more of those things. You start attracting pleasant conversations, you start attracting things getting cancelled. Suppose there's a meeting that you're not looking forward to, sorry, and you're already dreading it. You soothe yourself, you calm yourself, you'll find out that it'll get cancelled. This has happened so often with me, that something happens, like I don't want to attend a meeting or all of that. I just be like, okay, I don't want to do that. I'm going to disengage with that. I'm going to stop the thought in my mind that I don't want it, I don't like it, and all of that, and I'm going to disengage, and then it kind of resolves and dissolves. And a very interesting story with one of my clients recently that I was talking to. She was at a job that she didn't like. It was getting stressful, she had really extreme working hours, and it was in a different industry altogether than what she actually is passionate about. So as we were, having our coaching sessions, she would tell me this one fine day she just showed up, and our coaching started with her being wanting to find more of a rhythm at her job and being able to deal with it in a better way. But at one fine day she was like, Sanjula, I hate my job. I've just discovered it. It just hit me like a, it just had this big aha moment that I hate my job. I don't like it at all, and I don't want to be here. And we had that conversation. So when you're hating on something, the first thing you want to do is soothe yourself, relax yourself, and kind of move away from all of that tense energy. So we were like, it's okay. I'm soothing her and calming her down. Not that she was frantic or anything, but she had come to a decisive place that I hate it. The first thing we spoke about, of course, she was passionate about something else. She was passionate about marketing, and especially in beauty industry and all of that. And this was engineering in oil industry, so completely different. So the first thing I asked her to do was to stop hating her job. That sounds really doesn't make sense, of course. If you're actually, that's your reality every day, you don't like the work that you're doing and it's piling over, your reality shows you have all the evidence and you hate it. But then I say that don't hate it. What I mean by that is that it's your decision to every day go to work and feel like, I hate my job, I don't like this, I don't like that person, I don't like all of those things. That's a decision of how you're stepping into your work every day. You could choose to do that, and that's such a tense energy, and it doesn't serve you, doesn't feel good, and it's not going to be productive in any way, and it's not going to attract good stuff. You could choose to do that, or you can choose to be a little bit more passive. No, you can't shift from a negative to absolute positive. So we were talking about, let's not hate it. I'm not saying go love your job. Clearly she won't love her job because it's not her thing. So it was from going from absolute negative to neutral. So she decided to stop doing that. She decided to stop letting this thing take over her mind for the rest of the day, that how much she hates her job. So as soon as she started letting go of that and soothing herself and releasing that, amazing things started happening. So it wasn't a sudden shift. It wasn't like immediately this happened, but step by step, day by day, she started soothing herself. The first thing that happened was that her hours reduced. If she used to work extra and all of that, so that kind of reduced. So she had very comfortable hours, what she wanted. She could just disconnect from work and then chill at home. So that's the first thing that happened. Secondly, she started having a good connection with some of her colleagues. She enjoyed someone's presentation and they started working together. They had a good dynamic. That was amazing. Thirdly, after we had done working, she told me after a few weeks that a project showed up at her work, at her job, and it was completely different from what was normal for an oil industry engineering company. It was related to beauty and it was related to marketing. And because she was she's someone who's so passionate about it, people asked her, well, isn't this something interesting for you? Would you like to take this on? Would you like to work in this project? And she could not believe it. She could not believe that something like this could happen. I could not believe it either. Like, how could this company, which is completely different, engineering, oil industry, can have marketing and beauty come to them? But it was her. She attracted it. Of course she attracted it, because she stopped hating it. She relaxed, she released, and she was okay with it. So of course the working hours reduced, things became better, and then she attracted to her, in this job that she thought she hated, the perfect opportunity. And she was so excited now to go to work. So she went to loving the work that she had. But she couldn't have done it on the same day she decided that she hates the job, right? So no matter where you are, move to the next step. Soothe yourself to the next step. Decide to stop hating it. Decide to stop being so affected by what just happened. You have the space in your mind. You have the space in your thoughts. You have the space with your feelings. And the most valuable thing that we have is our focus. We decide where we are focusing, what we are focusing on, which aspect of our life are we focusing on. So often we use our imagination in that direction of what could go wrong, what's the worst case scenario, right? So that's, again, you're giving all this airtime to all the negative stuff that is just making us feel bad, and we can do better. because we deserve better. So that's the first thing that I really, really wanted to put across, that it's that deciding, that kind of self-love, that kind of that priority for yourself, for your own, for your own well-being, that I'm going to do something that will make me feel better. Once you make that decision, once you decide for that, then the next step becomes obvious. Okay, what's the next thing from here? Do I meditate? Do I journal? Do I take a nap? Do I walk away from this? Do I play? Do I make a coffee? Then the next step shows up. There's so many resources, so many ways in which you can soothe yourself. But the first thing and the most important thing is that you decide to soothe yourself. You decide that you're valuable and important enough to do that for yourself. And also the part of you which feels like, oh, I need to fix this. There's a deadline that is right across, right around the corner, or I'm just very close to this thing. I just need to hustle a little bit more. I need to effort a little bit more. It feels tempting, because law of attraction works on everything. It also works on, negative thoughts that way. So the more you are into a problem, the more you attract other problematic things, and other problematic aspects. So it's tempting. It becomes like this vortex, you could call it. It calls you in, it calls you in, it calls you in. So it's a momentum that has kind of happened. If you think of something that you are a bit tense about, or something you're nervous about, if you allow yourself to start thinking about it, more thoughts like that will join in. More thoughts and more experiences will come into your mind, and you'll be like, oh, I remember, that also didn't happen. Oh, I remember someone else had a bad experience in this area, and all of that. So it just keeps going on and on and on. So the law of attraction is also working in that direction. So you want to disengage from that for a minute, pause, create that space, and then, do something to soothe yourself. Hi Melanie, so happy to see here. Let's see some of the comments. Gia says, you have such fluencies. I'm so proud of you. Thank you. I've known you for about 10 years. How old are you? I don't know. You have the wisdom of the elderly at a young age. Thank you so much, Gia. You can impact millions of people, especially knowing the Indian culture. I so appreciate it. What are your programs? I saw you on stage as well. Oh my God, Gia, I love you so much. Thank you so much for saying that. Thank you so much for saying that. In fact, this is a perfect thing that I want to invite everyone. So I wanted to also share about this program that I'm doing. So the intention of doing this 5-day program, before I get into that, we're going to do a little meditation. So everyone who's connected here, we're going to do a tiny little meditation here. And if someone would like to hop in the call, I would do that, and then we could do a meditation. So I'm doing this 5-day program. I've been doing this now for a couple of years, exactly couple of years, I think, since the last 2 years. And every time I do a 5-day program, the intention is to connect with people, make them feel good, make them feel uplifted, make them feel like, that they can believe in their dreams, they can have what they want, and amazing things of course follow. It's just wonderful. As I said, someone told me after the program they met their soulmate, and eventually they got married. Someone else had set certain intentions for the kind of income they want and the kind of work they want to have, and they started, in one of my free programs, they just got introduced to the law of attraction. And as they stepped on that path, eventually, I think after a couple of months, they attracted the perfect job. They now have the income that they had set as an intention. Amazing stuff happens, great shift happen. But it's not just about that manifestation. It's not just, as I said in day 2, it's not just about what you get, it's about who you become. Every goal that we set for ourselves, or every goal that, every desire that we have that feels like, okay, this is the next thing that I want, is basically a hidden thing, a hidden opportunity for us to grow, to become that version of ourselves. That's what we really, really want. We want to be confident. We want to feel like we are lovable. We want to feel beautiful. We want to feel athletic. We want to feel successful. We want to feel all these amazing things. We want to feel free. We want to feel healthy. We want to feel abundant. Those are the things that we really, really want to feel. And it comes masked as, okay, I want to become an entrepreneur, or I want to be married, or I want to do all of these things. So it's always an invitation to grow into something and have that experience, have a beautiful journey along the way. So that's what I wanted to create here for everyone in the 5-day program. But I will also be launching the 2-week program this weekend. In fact, I'm starting on Sunday. It will be on Facebook. But so what I like about Facebook is that it's a closed group. It's a intimate community, like we can share here. I think everyone has a little bit of hesitation of sharing their deeper desires and their deeper limiting beliefs, as we were discussing yesterday. But in our 2-week programs, we can share everything. And what I know is that everyone who joins is such a loving is such a loving presence, such a loving energy that shows up there. It's such a wonderful thing. So we have, what we're doing right now, we have also every day different activities. We go through different activities, plus we have live calls. This time I'm doing alternate days. I'll have live calls every alternate day. So whatever we are talking about, whatever activity we may have, the intention is to make you feel good, shift your belief, connect with your desire, and make it believable for you that you deserve it. So the activities will be around that, plus the live calls. I'll be sitting here and I'll be connected with you in the live calls on the Facebook group, and I will be helping you believe what you want to believe for yourself, because I can see that for you. I can hold the vision for you even when you're not able to see it. So we will have live calls where I would invite you to actually hop in the call, and then we can have a one-on-one conversation. So it's a closed community, it's a closed group, and it feels really comfortable to share all of those things. And I do all the exercises myself as well, because every time I do it, of course, the next thing shows up, the next manifestation shows up, like right at the heels of the program, or in a month or so. So it's always good to feel uplifted, connect with amazing people, and think about our desires. And it also creates like this capsule, this safe space, because we can do it all by ourselves as well. We can do the activities, we can think about all our desires and dreams, but I think for all of us it becomes like a capsule which is a safe space. And every day since we're coming there, every day when you open your Facebook group, you see that, okay, here we are all going to talk about our desires and talk about all the exciting things, and also our fears and also our insecurities. And it's an invitation to do it for 2 weeks, and it feels really good. So I'm going to be doing that this Sunday. I'm going to be starting that this Sunday. And if you would like to participate, let me know. I'll share the details with you. It's a paid program, so it's going to be around, I get confused with the different currencies. It's going to be around 5,000 Indian rupees. That's about 50 pounds, I think. And that's about 55 US dollars. I'm not sure. No, it's not 55 US dollars. It's about 60 US dollars. Let me see. I'll confirm. If you send me a DM, I have it all written down, but I just forgot right now what are the things. But it's 5,000 Indian rupees, and then it's a little bit more for the different currencies because of the convenience fee that comes through from PayPal. So that's what we are going to do. We're going to start this Sunday. So if this calls you, if this is exciting, if you like to be in this energy, in this vibe, I can promise you that you will feel really good. And I can also promise you that you will have a shift. You will have that shift in your belief. You can hold that vision for yourself. This, what may feel a little bit like far away, it'll feel more, approachable, more accessible, and you can feel like, you deserve it. And people will be cheering you on, and amazing manifestations happen. Melanie is here. She manifested a car during that time. Someone manifested a promotion that they were looking forward to. One of my really close friends, and also now a participant, she manifested winning a national award prize. So that was so interesting, because I did this last year 2 times. I had a 5-day program, 2-week program, 5-day program, 2-week program, in a month's time. So the first time she participated in the 5-day program, she was in the college level competition, and the next thing was a national level competition. So after we were finished with the 2-week program, she had cracked through. She was in the national level competition, and the second time we did it, she won the national level competition. And in the 2-week program, she is now working for the dream company that she had. And if you hold on, like in next few days, I'm inviting 3 participants who have been a part of the 2-week program and who have had amazing manifestations in their life. So the story that I was sharing earlier of this client, friend, dear friend and participant who had that shift at her work, where she was hating her job and then she manifested amazing stuff. Even going further beyond, where she, many stories, she has so many inspiring stories. So much has changed in her life and who she is and how she feels about herself. She is going to be joining us in one of the live calls on I think Friday. On Thursday, another participant is going to be joining who again had a shift in his career, but more importantly, he wanted a shift in his relationship with his parents. There was a little bit of wanting acceptance with them, and what seemed really really difficult, what seemed like maybe they won't accept or they might not understand, that shifted. The whole relationship shifted. He was one of my first participants in the 5-week program I used to do earlier, but he's been consistently joining all the different programs that I did. And lastly, I will have the one I just spoke about, the person who, again, really close friend, who went from 5-day program, getting into the college level competition, then the national level competition, then winning the national level competition, and now working at a dream job. So these are such wonderful stories, and I will invite you to join the live calls on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Well, we'll have these discussions, and Sunday we are starting the program. So if this resonates with you, if this clicks with you, if it feels like something that you want to be a part of, let me know. Send me a message, and I'd like to invite you for that. Let's see if I can add. I see an invitation from her. Hi, Neha. Let's see. There's so many comments here. I can't see them somehow. If there is negativity all around, how to feel good? Thank you so much. 786 asks that. Okay. Hi, Melanie.
Hey.
Hey. What is
I'm
it
a little
today?
behind on those assignments, but I just wanted to pop in and just say that those 2-week programs, even the 5-day programs are, I mean, I just had so much movement, and enjoyment. It just proved to me that life is easy is the perfect phrase for it. Just hearing other people in it and what they're doing and how things are changing, it's just such a fun thing. I'm so glad you're offering another 2 weeks. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to really join this 2 weeks, but I would love to. Maybe on the next one.
Next round, of course,
Yeah.
of course. It'll be perfect
Yeah.
time, perfect place. But I am so glad. I'm so glad that you joined in today. Of course, it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Are you free today?
Yeah,
This is
I'm free. I have now, my Tuesdays are kind of busy because I'm doing 2 coaching programs at the same time. I'm doing a health, I'm getting a certification in health and as a holistic health and fitness coach.
hollow body or something like
Yeah,
that, right?
hollow body. Yeah, so that is,
Oh my
that's
God.
phenomenal. And just really loving that. So that's part of my retirement, quote
Yes,
unquote,
yes,
that I was
yes,
talking about within
yes.
my my
And
2
that's a
weeks.
manifestation as well. Like it's a
Yes,
path of least resistance to the next step. It showed up
yes,
with the
yes.
course
It
that is
showed up.
kind
Yeah. It just, I took it, I was wanting an exercise program that I would enjoy.
of,
That appeared.
of
Then I
course.
thought, oh, it'd be great to be certified in it. Boom, that appeared. So here I am.
Of course.
It seems like the hardest part is realizing that it happens so smoothly
Mhm.
that it's almost like I'm like,
Is it? Yeah.
should I do it or should I do? I mean, I'm debating about whether I should go forward because it's not that I was expecting it was going to be,
Oh,
wow, yes, that's it,
yeah, yeah.
and it was just a very natural,
Mm-hmm.
like, well,
Mm-hmm.
you wanted it, here it is.
Yes. Yeah, it's not like, bells and whistles or something like it's just like,
Yeah,
yeah, the
yeah,
natural next step, of course. This is
yeah,
what you wanted,
yeah,
and it resonates. It's popped up. It has stood out in some way that it can't be a
yeah.
coincidence, like that it showed
Right.
up. There's no coincidence.
No coincidence.
Uh, it reminds me of, when I finished my engineering and I knew that I didn't want to continue, but I had
Hmm.
no other. So I was in the same thing that I was talking about. I was like, I need to figure this out. I need to find out what's the thing that I have to do, and I want to uplift
Yeah,
people, but I don't know what it is. So I was like trying to solve it, and in that ball of frustration. And
yeah.
once I released it, and that's one of the activities that I've shared earlier, where I drew everything, like drew
Hmm.
the vision for myself.
Right.
So release
That was a fun exercise.
exactly right. It's such a beautiful activity. And
Yeah,
I was like, this is the vision, this is what I want, and I'm gonna just release it and go back to India and see what pans out. And when
right.
I came here, I was going through, I think, Coursera. There's a there's a
Yeah, yeah.
platform,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
offers a lot of courses for free,
Yeah.
for free or whatever. So one popped up, one showed up for me, which was about social entrepreneurship. And it didn't feel like, as the same thing as you said, it didn't stand out for me. It wasn't like, wow, this is the one. It didn't feel like, my God, this is
Yeah.
click. It was like, sounds interesting. Why not? Let me
Right.
just, it was like, yeah, okay,
Right.
let me give it a try. It was not like a big thing or something. So as I'm doing it, and I started getting more into it, I started enjoying it. And I remember it was a 7 week thing. Halfway through the thing, I had this idea. So they said that, okay, you take up a project, you create a project, and you take up your cause. And for me, it was career counseling. I want to help people with,
Right.
choosing the right career for them. So I'm taking this as an activity, as a course. And I manifest one of my old friends who I haven't spoken in years, who's like, well, I have an opportunity. I'm thinking of a startup. Let me know if you're interested. And he sends me like this a PDF of what it's about, and what's on his PDF is the same as what's been on my journal for this course. Like, it's the same idea. He wants to start a career counseling startup. I was thinking of that, and I manifested it. And the 7th week, exactly the day the course ended, was the first day we had a meeting with one of the principals of the school, and we signed a deal. So I
Wow.
knew this this did not show up in my mind. So I always enjoyed that story, because it wasn't like,
Yeah.
this is it, and that full
Right.
body yes. It was a fleeting thing that, oh, maybe I could try this. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And it went to something really meaningful and beautiful. So I feel like it
Yeah.
sounds similar in that case, that
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And I love it because I've always thought that it was going to be some big thing, but
yeah.
now it's coming more frequently, where it's just the next thing. I want this.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
shows up. I want this.
Yeah.
It shows up. And they're subtle, because you could look at it and go, well, maybe it's not that because of this, and maybe it's not,
Yeah.
but because it is so natural feeling.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's, you get, like you said, let go of those things that are
Mm-hmm.
holding you back.
Yeah.
Even when I saw the certification, I was like, should I do this? I don't know. Maybe I don't see myself as a health coach, that kind of thing. I don't think I'm going to train people, but
Yeah.
it was the perfect thing. And now it's like, now I'm in I'm marinating in it and just
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I feel totally different than when I even signed up for it. I'm a different person. So,
Yeah. There's
yeah.
another thing that I know we've discussed this before, but I love that Abraham quote that says, make a decision and make it right. Like, you're
Right.
never missing a boat. You're never on the wrong path, because wherever you're going, you're attracting resources, you're attracting the next step. So there's no
Yeah.
wrong path anyway. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
get to make this your own thing. So it's going to be so beautiful, Melanie, I think.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to see you.
And I finished in October. So I'm like, oh,
You
okay.
do? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I finished in October.
Melanie, it feels like just yesterday when we were talking about, oh, I have to, it's just starting. It's just starting. I have to sign up. Oh my God. It's
Yeah.
finished already. It's gonna be
So,
so good. It's gonna be so
yeah.
good.
And it's
And I,
changing me and giving me information on how to work with other people.
yeah,
And it's just
yeah,
a beautiful community to work with. Just really,
this
really
is
loving people and
so
everything.
wonderful.
So it's
Thank you
good.
for joining today. But I mean, I have to say that, yeah, as I was talking about 2 week program, that you showed up, of course, and and you have been such a wonderful participant, always such a joy to talk to,
Yeah.
and not just participant. Like now, it feels like you're my friend, really dear
Yeah,
friend.
yeah, yeah,
Like it
absolutely.
feels,
That's what it feels like to me too. And that's
yeah.
and that's another. I mean, I can't. I
Wait, I can't hear you. Wait, I think you muted. Is it? Oh no, why can't I hear you? Oh, there you are. There you are. Yes,
Oh,
yes,
wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. All right.
I can hear you.
Siri popped up. I hit my headset. Um, anyway, I mean, like every time I've done your 2 week program, you've brought in something new, some new question, some new way of looking at it, some new perspective that just kind of bowls over any resistance, to going further in that. And when you say you're going to feel better, yes, you're going to feel good when you finish the program, because that's how it's designed. I mean, it's just you're so good at that, Sanjala. You're just really, really good at this.
You
Yeah.
are so amazing.
I
Thank you so
appreciate
much,
you.
Melanie. It's because
You're
of like
welcome.
you being there, then the energy, of course. Like right now, I'm up here. Like you can make up. I'm like so excited talking to you because, of course, that's the energy that you bring in and the conversations. And I think that's what expands. I mean, the activities are the same, but when the
Yeah.
conversations change around it, the way of looking at it changes because
Yeah.
of also what you're bringing to it, the answers you give. I remember we were having a conversation just like that on the live call, and someone was saying, "Wow, Melanie is so wise." Like, "Wow, Melanie,
Oh.
I think it's that collective, everyone coming together and everyone.
Yes. Yes.
Right. I may have
It's
resistance in
wonderful.
something which is really normal and okay for you, and then you bring in your
Yes.
experience and your ideas, and then I feel that soothing and I feel that click, and okay, I can do that.
Yep.
Oh my God, okay. I know that we may not be able to see each other on the 2 week program, but I would love to
Yeah.
just talk to you some other time,
Yes.
man. If you're
Yes.
free, just
Absolutely.
catch up
Absolutely.
some other time. Oh, I
Yeah.
love you so much.
I
Thank you
love
so
you
much.
too.
Thank you for joining today. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Let's see, how do I? Also, people are appreciating your hair so much.
Oh, thank you.
Did you see her smile? Melanie has such a beautiful smile. Is there something that you would like to share of how do you soothe yourself? Before you
Oh,
leave, I just
me?
want to ask
How do
you.
I
Yeah.
soothe myself? Well, I do several different things. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
you know about some of them. This is
Oh, yeah.
one.
Yeah. Oh, the beautiful thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
So
collages.
this is my collages that I do to picture, I might have some resistance somewhere, and then and sometimes I picture that a little bit,
Yeah.
so I can look at it and kind of laugh about it, and then
Mm-hmm.
I can kind of picture the opposite, and
Yeah.
that soothes me. Walking, in
Hmm.
nature is
Yes.
soothing to me. Um,
You have a beautiful
you
neighborhood
know, yeah,
with more
listening
greenery.
to Sanjula's videos sometimes.
Thank
um,
you.
taking a nap, some of the typical
Mhm.
things.
Yeah.
Just try to, working differently in my mind about things,
Hmm. Hmm.
sometimes it's listening to a romance novel,
Hmm. Yes.
audiobook.
Gets you in the right space, of course. I love
Even
that.
hanging out with my trainer is kind of soothing. He's a lot of
Nice.
fun. Yeah, I
Oh,
mean, when he trains with me, we usually talk afterwards, and he
oh,
always has a lot of insight into things.
I love it.
That's
I
fun.
love it. You make
Yeah.
me so happy, Melanie. I'm so happy that you're here.
Oh, you
You
do
make me so
too.
happy. I feel really
It's a
talking to
mutual
you.
admiration.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, so thank you so much for joining me. Let me
Yeah.
see how I can, or maybe you can see how you can exit the call. I don't know how I can do it from here. Usually,
Hmm. Do I have to get off? How do I do it?
I think you may see a cross somewhere. Is there a?
Oh, yes. Okay.
There?
Hold on.
Okay,
Let me
before you
see.
go, thank you. Thank you for
You're,
joining.
you're welcome. Glad to be here. Okay. I can't, for some reason, get. Okay. Okay.
Thank you so much for joining, Melanie. It's such a pleasure. Thank you so much. I just can keep just appreciating you, but I'm so happy that you're here. Um, Shreya says, the Balanced Bliss says that I remember recording the millionaire statement in front of the mirror. Yes. And that was a specific program which was around abundance, which is about attracting money and manifesting money. I have to tell you, if you guys haven't seen the post that I shared today, which is about manifesting money and how the fun stuff, shows up in our life, one of the stories is that I've shared here was that, someone wanted to pay for this course that I was doing, and that's an interesting thing. You can sign up for my course. There are payment options as well. because we were specifically talking about money, the 2 weeks was all around money. um, she attracted, right at the at the end or somewhere in between, she attracted an opportunity that paid exactly the fees that she had to pay for the course. And it was so easy and it was so fun. So that is something also in terms of manifesting that I wanted to share, that we think that we have our eyes set on one path. We think that this is how the thing that we want will show up. Either it'll show right outside our doorstep, or we think that, this is how I'll get a promotion, this is how I'll get the partner, this is how they need to respond to me. So, we get rigid in the ways we want it to show up. But, there's a more fun path available, which is called the path of least resistance, or you could say the path of most fun. You don't necessarily just want to get from point A to point B. You want to take that as you're traveling to some place. You want to take the fun route, which is beautiful and it's scenic, and you have such a good time on the way, and you have beautiful music, great conversations with everyone, like you have a road trip, right? So we have those experiences as well. So sometimes it just shows up like that. So I have shared 3 different stories where it shows up just like that, from an expected source. It comes maybe earlier from an unexpected source that you didn't think of, or from a path that shows up. Okay, you take this path and then this thing will show up. So as I said, for me, the course that I was taking, that kind of popped up, that, well, why don't you do a social entrepreneurship course? Like, I attracted that because I kind of released the tension and the frustration around, I need to figure this out, I need to solve this. I released that, and this course kind of showed up. And as I was doing it, I was in the right frame of mind. I was thinking the right thoughts to attract someone, a co-founder with whom I could work. So, the path of least resistance, it can show up in many different ways. That's why manifestation, in the sense, there's so much variety. There's so many players to play with. There's so many different opportunities to play with. So it's not always this, clean formula that when you do this and then you do this, then this is how it shows up. Sometimes it's like you do this, you do that, and it shows up from another person altogether. Sometimes it just shows up in your lap out of nowhere. So it's always fun to manifest in different ways. um, the abundance program was great too. Thank you so much for participating in that too also. So the most important thing that I wanted to re-emphasize is that it's important to make that priority and know that you're important enough, and that your peace of mind and how you're feeling is valuable. And it makes sense to take out some time, even if you're surrounded. So that was a question that someone asked. Thank you so much. 786 asked me if there's negativity all around, how to feel good. Negativity all around means you're noticing that, you're focusing that all around you. And you could be in your house, you could be in a certain workspace, and everyone around you is that kind of a person. At your house, maybe you're having a difficult time. So you are with your own thoughts throughout the day. The negativity, the perceived negativity, or the people or the source of the negativity is not with you all the time. But as I said earlier, we have a fight with someone for 15 minutes, we have a confrontation. It lasts for 15 minutes, but it stays in our mind for the next 2 days, right? We still argue with them in our mind, or we still think about them, how they're not good, or how they're mean, or how they had previously done something wrong to us and everything. So we keep that going on in our mind. So as you said, is there negativity? If there is negativity all around, first of all, that negativity is all around our mind. The source is there for sure, no denying that, it's a fact. But it's how much attention and focus are we giving it, and how much are we giving that power and amplifying its influence in our own life. So the thing is, again, don't try to go from negative to absolute positive. Try to come to the neutral. So going to the neutral would be to disengage from those thoughts for a while. Disengage and stop yourself from thinking about that person or that situation that really triggered you. I think this was exactly the question that someone had asked me on Instagram. So the first thing, as I said to them, is that you need to stop. That would take some effort, literal effort, because you've thought about it so often. It's been going on for a while, so it's just so quickly. If something does even a little trigger, you can just go in that direction and think all the negative thoughts. So you have to kind of like have a speed bump, the speed breaker. So as soon as that happens, you want to stop yourself a little bit, like literally make that decision in your mind. I'm not going to think about this. I'm going to think something else. I'm going to go to a different room. I'm going to watch something else. I'm going to focus on something else. And you start with that. So it's kind of like a speed breaker. So you're stopping the momentum. Second thing that you want to do is, this is like for a longer run, not just for a quick fix. You want to, because of course, as we're looking at the person or the situation that triggered us, we may have like resentment towards the other person. We may have, anger towards the whole situation in general. So you want to stop yourself from thinking those things. You want to like let that pass, because then we can keep carrying the hurt from something that happened even years ago. Like, I know also a lot of people in my own life personally who had something wrong happen to them like years back, and they're still holding on to that, like that person wronged me and they were wrong in that place. And that is just hurting you. The more you carry that negative experience with you, the other person is off the hook. They don't know that you're feeling or you're still resenting them. They're enjoying their lives, but you're reminding yourself of that and you're holding on to that negative experience. Maybe you were the one who did something wrong, so you're holding on to that guilt. So you want to let go of the influence of that triggering incident or a series of incidents that happen. You want to let go of that and let it be in the past and move on to the next step. You want to let it, if it requires some healing, if it requires forgiveness, if it requires acceptance, you want to do that in your own mind, not necessarily going out there and doing that already, because you're coming from the negative to the neutral. Next step, when you start feeling neutral, then you can try to, don't have to, but you can try to appreciate the other person. You can try to appreciate the life that you're living right now. You can try to appreciate other aspects of your life. So the main thing, if you notice what I'm saying, is shifting your focus away from what is triggering you, stopping your momentum from going on and on and on about that thing. Another analogy that I love for myself is, because I love to take photos. I love to take photographs of birds. Sorry for the noise. So I like to take photographs of the birds, and I have this big zoom lens. There is a lot of things around when I go out of my balcony. There are a lot of things to focus on. And I could take that lens and focus on anything, and take a picture of that and be like, this is my balcony. This is the view from my house. And let that be the definition of what is behind my house. Or I could choose to focus that lens on the birds, on nature, on this and that, and get joy out of that. So in the same way, we have those lens, as you could say, with the analogy, we have, with our thoughts and our minds and our focus and our attention. There's so much going on in our life. What are we focusing on? What are we zooming in on? What are we amplifying? The more we focus on that, the more we attract of that thing, right? So that would be the answer for that. Hi Sugam, hi Neha. Okay, as I said, we'll do a little meditation. I thought I could play some music and then we could all do it together, but then on Instagram, they usually, if they find some music and everything, they can either mute it or they could just ban the video and you won't be able to see the replay. So I had something else in mind. I have a little Tibetan bowl. I thought we could do a little bit with this. So one thing that I would say, that wherever I may be, we are in a car or we are surrounded by people, maybe at the office, you may be at the dining table, you're talking to people. One of the things that I do, which is a very quick thing, of course I follow up with making myself feel better, is I unfocus. I try to release my focus from whatever's going on, from thoughts that are going on. Usually it's the thought that is creating an emotion that doesn't feel good. When you're thinking the thought that I'm messing it up, the deadline is right around the corner, the boss doesn't like me, my mom's going to say this, da, da, da. That thought is going to trigger that emotion. It's not going to feel good, right? So it's about releasing the thought. If you can compare it to your vision, there's this vision of seeing whatever's right in front of you, and then there's a peripheral vision, right? There's a release of focus. So you can focus on what you're looking at right now, or you can kind of unfocus, as I would say, just like to call it unfocus, and you kind of have this broader vision, have your peripheral vision, right? So that is something that I do quite often. Like in that instant, I try to release myself from where I am and I try to unfocus. Wait a second, I think there's an invitation from someone to join. So I'll just do this quick meditation and then I will add. Gia says, not forgiving is vengeance. Children sometimes can only protect themselves by never forgiving, but adults have the access to different coping mechanisms. So unforgiving can be replaced with something else. Yeah, we can figure out different ways that work for us. Again, this is Everyone has different ways of, as you said, Gia, everyone has different coping mechanisms, and everyone has different, just like, how we can soothe ourselves and feel good. We have so much variety, so many tools to feel better. Meditation is not the thing. Sometimes, as Melanie says, it's taking a nap. So, everyone has different things to play with, but it's important to make a decision to do it. That's it. Whatever works for you is the best. Also, in terms of teachers, also, and law of attraction practices, also, there's not one best thing. It's you, it's you, it's you. You get to decide how you want to feel. You get to decide how you want to focus. And then the next thing shows up. Okay, I'm going to follow this teacher. I'm going to do this practice. I'm going to go out and take up this course, right? So the path is unique to yourself, but the decision is your own. Okay, so we're going to do a very little quick thing, and excuse me if it's not the perfect meditation as I'm doing it live. Um, I would invite you to relax, sit comfortably wherever you are, or I hope you're not driving. If you're driving and all, then don't do that. If you're operating heavy machinery, as they always say, I hope you're not doing that as you're meditating, as I'm asking you to relax. So relax yourself, close your eyes, excuse the horns that you may hear in the background because I stayed close to traffic. Take a deep breath and release. Do a big long release. Take a deep breath in, release. I want to invite you to unfocus for a minute. Take your focus away from all the thoughts, all the work, all the things that required your attention earlier in the day, things that you may feel tempted to solve or to explore. Just take a minute to step back, relax, and release. Unfocus for a minute. Take a deep breath in, release. Focus on the sound of the singing bell. Release all the thoughts that don't serve you. Ease into relaxation. Ease into easier thoughts. Ease into a natural pace of breathing. Focus on the sound of your breath. Notice the sounds as you're inhaling and exhaling. Notice how your lungs fill up and how your shoulders relax as you exhale. Focus on your chest rising as you take a deep breath in. Keep your unfocused attention on your breath. Now focus on any and all sounds that you hear around you. focus singularly only on the sounds that you hear. Now shift your focus to your sense of touch. Focus on where you're sitting, where your hands are, where your feet are. Focus on the sensation of your clothes on your body. Focus on how the air around you feels. Is it warm? Is it cool? Is it comfortable? Now focus on your sense of smelling. As you're breathing in, what's a fragrance? What's a smell that you sense? Maybe there's a hint of something in the air. Maybe it just feels normal. What does normal smell like for you? Take a deep breath in and engage your nose and your sense of smell. Now focus on your mouth and your tongue and your sense of taste. What's the taste in your mouth right now like? Is there an aftertaste of something you just had? Or does it just taste normal? Connect with your sense of taste. Be aware of how your tongue is resting in your mouth. And lastly, let's connect with our sense of sight. Open your eyes and focus on your peripheral vision. What are the colors that stand out for you? What are the things that you notice first? How bright does it look? Now bring your focus to the object in front of you. Maybe your device, maybe whatever is in front of you. And come back to this present moment. Take a deep breath in. Release. And welcome back. So that was a little meditation that I wanted to share with you. I won't even call it a meditation. I have the bowl with me, of course, but when I'm sitting at the office or sitting in the car, you can always do this. So let me know, how was that? Did that feel relaxing? Did you feel comfortable? Did you feel calm? I'm feeling really calm right now. I'm feeling really relaxed. So would love to know, how was that for you? It was really, really, really good for me. So we can always do that. We can always make a decision. It doesn't take too long to focus on our breath, focus on our senses, focus on where we are right now. Ground ourselves in this moment, ground ourselves in the reality right now. Separate and isolate all those different thoughts that are there, shift away from that and come back to this moment. As I said, my first preference would have been, since we are together, to play some music. But I think this was a demonstration of what you can do quickly wherever you are. It doesn't require a lot of effort because it's all within you. You can choose. You can choose to relax, you can choose to focus. You have your breath with you at all times, and you can focus on your breath. You can focus, you have your senses with you. You can just kind of switch off everything for a second and then tune it all in one after the other. Connect with your sense of touch, connect with your sense of sight. Sight, I think, is what I like to do in the end, because suddenly this whole picture just shows in front of my eyes, and it looks beautiful, it looks bright, and I love the colors that pop up. So we can do anything that feels good to us, in that moment, that can help us really move away from the current situation, what all the thoughts that we have going on. Melanie says it was very calming. I'm so glad that you enjoyed that, Melanie. So thank you so much for joining today. And as I said, tomorrow is the last day of the 5-day program, of course. But after that, I will have 3 calls where 3 of the participants who have previously worked with me or previously participated in the 2-week program and have had amazing stories. I'm so glad, Melanie, that you could come in and share your experience as well. But in the next 3 days, sight after looks brighter, right? Like everything, I think, looks good. There are beautiful colors, like colors pop up, and it like looks nice. I love it. I love doing it in the balcony, and then eventually, when you open your eyes, then there's more appreciation for the nature around you. I love it. So glad that you liked it, Melanie. So tomorrow is the last day. You can hop in the live call. I would love to connect with you. Love to hear your questions and your, the things that you have that you wanted to share. And on the next 3 days, we will have 3 participants, previous participants of the program, sharing their stories about amazing transformation that they've had. And then from Sunday, I'm going to be starting the 2-week program. Thank you so much, Melanie, for joining. So you guys can, if you're interested, I'm going to be sharing the details tomorrow. But if you're interested, you can directly ask me. You can directly send me a message. I can tell you the details of what it would be like, what would be the contents, what would be the flow of the whole program, what would be, what can you expect through it. And I would be happy to have you. It'll be a wonderful space. And I'm looking for about 10 to 12 people to join in. We can have a really good, comfortable community, safe space where you can share your desires, you can share your intentions, and you can also share, the limiting beliefs that you may have, the fear, insecurities. We are here to shift and transform it for you. So thank you again for joining me today. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a great next segment of the day, a great afternoon, great morning, great evening, or great night. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Bye.